So I know you mentioned a while ago that sometimes you get upset with your FMCs, and there's a lot of chatter in bookish spaces that we're really hard on the FMCs, and the MMC could literally be in a bush, you know, like hiding under the bed, and it's like, oh, but he loves her. So why do you think we're really hard on the FMCs, but we give the MMCs a pass for all of their foolishness?
So with my reader hat on, is because I want that man. And she trying to get him, and he kind of like her a little bit. So she can't do no right in my mind. So from a reader perspective, I feel like that's a lot of it. I also feel like the way a lot of authors write their FMCs, we write them realistically, and we're like, at me though. Because we see a lot of ourselves in the actions and a lot of things that these FMCs do. We're just like, girl, that man love you. Just go get him. Just say yes. But then in reality, in life, we know that someone loves us and we don't do the right thing. So it's that. But I think it's just naturally the fact that we read these books for the amazing story we do, and we want all the character development and plot development, but really we just want that fictional man. So we don't care about these FMCs. So we ain't giving them no grace. That's from my reader hat, so.
I'm with you 100%. Y'all can give these females no grace at all, because like you're looking at it from the lens of how we're looking at it a lot of times. Okay, why don't you let this man love you? Like, you're not even thinking about, okay, he is maybe a little crazy. You know, he might be a little off, but you know, something like that. It's like, because we get so invested. And I think because we craft these wonderful, whimsical men, you know, that people fall in love with. And like you said, we make the females actually someone you relate. So I think that is why we kind of give them a little bit of a hard time. It's okay, but we do it so they can be better.
I do agree we see a lot of ourselves in the female FMCs, but also there are things in the bookish world that we would put up with that we would not put up with in real life.
Yes, ain't no way. You cheated 6 times, I still love you. You know.
Hey, so first, thank y'all for your books, because the way we eat them up in our book club especially, love y'all down.
Thank you.
But kind of a 2-part question. Who is each of your favorite MMCs that you've written? And which book do you wish was hyped up more from your catalogs?
My favorite MMC right now, it has been for a minute, is Elias from Shadows and Whispers. That is my favorite. If y'all read any book by me, read that one. This one, of course. But right. But Elias, he is a bipolar male, and I wanted to do a book about mental health. I don't know anyone who is, that I know of that is bipolar. No one in my family. It was not a personal journey. I just wanted to challenge myself. And when I say challenge myself, I challenged myself. I did a deep dive on research. I made sure I understood. I was calling medical facilities, but I do that for all my books. I'm an intensive researcher. So if you read my books, you will see those layers. I will do 2 days worth of research for a 1 sentence in a book. But Elias, I wanted to write a male who had this flaw, I guess if you say, but it's beautiful. But he's still a man, and a man's man. But I also wanted to write an FMC that had to be the one to stand by him and for him. And it's just such a beautiful story, and he's my favorite because through it all, and typically in these books we see the females that have neurodivergent or mental health issues and things of that nature, but the way Cress loved him and stood by him, he had an episode and he woke up and he's there with his brother, and he says, when did she leave? And he's like, what you mean leave? She ain't going nowhere. Y'all are in this. So he's my favorite. And the book that I feel like doesn't get as much hype is probably from my consent series. So I have implied consent, informed consent, and Sailors coming out. But TJ, I feel like his book, the brother, his book, did not get the love it deserved. And I just love him down. Like that's just my favorite of all. Well, I don't know, I just finished Sailor and she, Lord bless her heart. But so I'd probably say informed consent.
So, well, for me, I can't decide. I love my male characters, okay? But if I had, right now, it's a running tie between Kinston in this book and Supreme. And they do have common themes with them, which they love these women down, okay? They are not gonna play about them with anybody. They're not gonna play with them. And I wanted that so much because they are willing to go through the thick of everything for them and with them and help them. And so that is, like I said, that so much of that is what I want to highlight. Now, I will say that I feel I want Kinston to get hyped up because see, my first book, Love on the Ninth Floor, everybody loved the little story because she found him, like he rescued her from the elevator and she found him on TikTok and and they had that whole thing and they went on this beautiful date and all this. So everybody was in love with Kanan in that story and I was like, I know, but baby brother was on one a little bit, So this good man over here, this is older brother and he was the one who helped him get the girl, I'm like, give him a chance. So I love the Supreme, like I said, even with Supreme, he was a man who lived alternative lifestyle. I say it like that. He was a little bit of a fuck, but he came from a family of henchmen. So, but he had this one constant in his life. His best friend since he was 5 years old becomes his wife, and he loves her. And so that is the one thing that he is not going to compromise about. He's willing to give up anything and everything for her. And so that is why he's one of my faves too. So, but I don't know. Book 3 come out this series. I might have a next one.
So my favorite MMC has actually not come out yet. It'll be coming out in April. It's book 3 in my Dillinger Chronicles. He is the perfect mixture of protector, provider, and completely unhinged about his woman. Yeah.
What I'm hearing is I'm going to be reaching out for an arc.
I just turned it into the editor, so. And a book that I wish got a little more hype was, I'm gonna say, When Secrets Collide. It's a novella.
I love that.
You read that one too? When Secrets Collide, it is a novella. It's kind of like a family drama. There are so many secrets and twists and turns and parents that just need a good slap. Good slap.
Any other questions?
I mean, I know I've been asking y'all questions, but I got more questions. I know you just told us about you have a book coming out in April, but what else, if you can tell us, what else are you working on? I'm eager to know.
So I just finished, I have 2 that are coming out. I have the 3rd book to the Consent series, which is Sailor. And I wrote 24/3 and then followed it up with Loyal by Default after the readers bullied a little bit. They didn't like my ending. It was so beautiful. It was just like, this is where they are. They're like, So in Loyal by Default, I introduced 3 brothers who are assassins also, and I just completed the first book for the first brother. So those 2 are up next. I have You Can Do Damage Part 2. Don't look at me like that. which comes out in October. It's done. The book is done. So if y'all want to be mad at my publisher. That's why it's not out. It's done. So that's coming up. But again, the blessing and beauty of being indie. I have about 4 books completed that'll be coming out in the next couple months. So, but immediately I have the 3rd book, Sailor of Implied Consent, and then Imperial, which is the first brother, Amir, from my Assassins book.
I have book 2 from the Love Brother series from my indie collection, which is Savior, Supreme's brother. Of course, he comes from the same family of henchmen for this crime syndicate family. So he is on his journey. He's not in love now, but he's going to find someone. And it gets rather complicated because he finds out that she's related to someone who is in direct conflict with their family. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting. Also have book 3 of this series, which is Love On. It is Akila's story, the oldest sister. So it's called Love On Board. That comes out in February 2026. So that is the story between Akila, her ex-husband Joel, who we get to meet several times in this book. You laugh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, we get Joel and Roman. So Roman is that guy who's always been around as a friend, and then they both end up on a singles cruise together and make a pact to enjoy it as friends. Mm-hmm. And then they gotta come back home. So I cannot wait for that book to come out. Also, the romantic suspense, which is Love on the Edge. It is actually about Kanan from Love on the Ninth Floor, first book in this series, his best friend, who's a fireman. If you remember Javon from that book, he was a bit of a playboy, and the playboy ways gonna catch up with him. Love on the Edge. So we have that. And working on a Christmas novel, Love Me Down to Christmas, that I am excited. It's definitely hot homework on that one. So I have that one, and also Saint, which is the 3rd brother. And that's coming out probably end of 2026 though.
So I will be working on the next 3 books of my Diligent Chronicles. I have a very special project that I'm working on. I can't say too much about it because it is a surprise. It's about 2 surprise projects that I'm working on. And then my second traditional book, Where Secrets Find Solace, is coming out in January 2026. That is a very emotional ride, so go ahead and
I'm ready. I won't do it at work. It's been such an honor and pleasure. That was a quick hour, I'm not gonna lie. That was very quick. It was an honor and pleasure, y'all. Y'all are wonderful. We appreciate everything that you do for the community. I've been highly blessed and favored to be in your presence today. Can we give them a round of applause, please? All right, they will be signing in the galley, which is on the first floor, if you would like to make your way over there. We have another panel that will be starting in this area in the next half hour.